Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode we see 4 games from the Super League and I bring you the highlights. Well, it's a busy Friday night as 4 Super League matches were played. There was Catalans Dragons versus Castleford Tigers, Leeds Rhinos versus Hull KR, St Helens versus Salford Red Devils, and the Sky Sports game with the host Warrington Wolves facing Wigan Warriors. In this episode we will bring you all the highlights for the games as Super League entertains once again. First of all, we're going to have a look at the game that was played between Catalans Dragons and Castleford Tigers, as both teams come into the game in different form, as the Tigers who are 10th in the league with 5 wins, beat a youthful Saints side 30 points to 10, while the 3rd place Catalans were beaten by Hull FC 14 points to 8. Let's get into both teams as they are both looking to produce better form than last time out. Castleford has continued with the same 17 who started against the Young Saints, so James Clare keeps out Nala Veldt, while Jason Carey is on the wing instead of Greg Eden. They will be looking at Gareth O'Brien and Jake Truman to pull the strings to formulate the Castleford attack. For Catalans, they have brought in Arthur Romano into the team after Josh Drinkwater's injury, who is out for 6 to 8 weeks. Tyrone May is drafted into the halves, while Julian Busquets returns to the side and it is at starting prop. Gil Dudson drops out of the 17 altogether, and one change on the bench as Paul Seguer replaces Alex da Costa. We are early in the first half and it's Catalans who actually get on the board first, as Julian Busquets powers his way over from a short ball off a Michael McLaurin play the ball. Catalans go in again soon after Tyrone May finds a gap in the cast defence and finds Mitchell Pearce for the 2nd try of the game. The 3rd was soon to follow after Tyrone May bundles his way over for a Catalans lead that was looking insurmountable at this time at 16 points to 0. Back comes Castleford though on the 26th minute, and after a great ball, a good dummy and a bit of power saw Gareth O'Brien go over. May have injured himself in the process, but he's alright to carry on. Catalans though pile on the pressure again, and it's Leguer who goes over, finally getting the ball down on the left side of the pitch, which Arthur Morgs converts his 3rd kick of the game. We go into the second half now, and it is a short swing to the left, after which finds Arthur Morgs, who has enough upper body strength about him to score the try, which he converts to make 6 points. That left side seems a bit profitable, as again they cut through, as Matt Whitley bundles his way over the try line. And again Catalans go again. A good kick by Tyrone May sees Leguer follow up and score his 2nd try of the game. An interception from Mahe Fanua finds the pace of Jason Gary, who cuts inside to score Cassie's 2nd try on the 71st minute. Gareth O'Brien adds the extras, which he did for his own try for 12 points. But once again, Catalans go to the left-hand edge, and Leguer goes over one more time after a Mitchell Pearce dink kick this time, and hits a full-time score of 44 points to 12, which goes in Catalans' favour. We now go on to our next game and our next set of highlights, as we have 2 teams that many have thought at this stage could have been in each other's league positions. And that game Well, it's Leeds Rhinos versus Hull KR. Leeds are still in 11th position due to only winning 2 games in their 10 games so far this season, but their win over Toulouse at 25 points to 14 last time out gave them confidence. This is also the final game with Jamie Jones Buchanan in charge for it during this temporary period, as Rowan Smith flies in. Hull KR are in 5th and have won their last 3 games and are wanting to keep the momentum up against the side who are still a little fragile in the confidence department. These are the teams. The Robins have Sean Kenny-Dowd missing as Sam Woods comes in. Albert Vette and Matt Parcells come in for Kane Lynette and Jez Litton. On the bench, Will Maher returns and joins Corbin Sims, Jimmy Kindhorse and Greg Richards. Leeds have a few changes in the backs, with Jack Broadbent moved to fullback instead of Liam Sutcliffe, and Sutcliffe misses out. Liam Tyndall and Blake Austin both return, with James Donaldson added to the pack as Reece Martin moves to the centres. Jack Sinfield drops to the bench. The Robins were going into the game looking to set a club record of 7 consecutive victories, but it wasn't things didn't go to plan. They had a difficult start against the Rhinos as Ben Crook gave away a penalty in centre field within the opening 3 minutes, but not long after that the same player unfortunately was on the wrong end of another decision. We go into the 3rd minute and Blake Austin kicks for the post, but Ben Crooks fumbles it into Matt Pryor, who scores underneath the sticks for the first try. We go into the second half with Leeds winning 6-0, but a forward pass by Sam Wood crosses off this Ryan Hall attempt. Leeds though go in again. It's not long after Morgan Gannon pops himself for Leeds' second try on the 48th minute. Reece Martin though only kicked 2 goals. This was his second one, a penalty, to extend Leeds' lead to 12-0. Then what looks like an Achilles injury for Sam Wood sees him out of the game for the rest of the match and an extended period. Leeds almost go over once more, but some great defence by Ethan Ryan keeps out Ash Hanley. Bit controversial, but the linesman flag is up. And then some bad news for Hull KR as Lachlan Coote is down with a bad head injury and he stays down and looks like that he may be out of next week's semi-final. After a towering kick, catch and try attempt, it was a penalty that was given for being inside the 10, but Leeds hung on for a 12-0 victory. Hull KR need to lick their wounds and do a bit better next time out. Our 3rd game of the evening will see us look at the St Helens versus Salford game, as both teams are looking to do better compared with the last time they played in the Super League. Both sides were defeated in round 9 and were looking to bounce back. Saints played a very youthful team at Castleford and were able to maintain their top of the table position. A very good outing at the DW Stadium for Salford, but unfortunately yielded no points on the table, and they now sit in 9th with only 3 wins to their name. Here come the teams. Salford, who were unfortunate in defeat against Wigan 30 points to 24, are without Ryan Briley, so Morgan Escaray starts, while there are a lot of changes in the front line. Danny Addy, Callum Watkins stay, but Josh Johnson, Amir Burrows, Jack Ormonroyd and Ryan Lannon all start, while Andy Ackers and King Vuniyayawa are the only players dropped. And to keep their places in the 17 and take places on the bench, while Alex Gerrard keeps his bench place, and there's a return for Saleti Akawala. Saints, though, keep 3 of the side from the Castleford game in the starting lineup, as Ben Davies moves to the centres, Josh Sims goes out to the wing, and Sam Royal carries on in the second row position. Will Hapawate starts at fullback, while Jack Welsby is in at standoff. But all the big guns are back in the squad, as we see the returns of the likes of Johnny Lomax, Alex Walmsley, James Roby all start. It is a strong bench as well, as Sione Matautia, Joey Lussick, who started last time out, Ignatius Passett and Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook all find their places on the pine. St Helens have the attack at the beginning, and after a kick by Jack Welsby into the in-goal area goes out, he kicks it out of the stand. So, Chris Kendall says it's time wasting, and Sim bins Welsby for the offence. This gives a man advantage to Salford, and they duly obliged. After some great wing play, it was Morgan Escaray who found the gap, and he ducks, dived, dips and dodged all the way through to the try line for the opening try. When parity returns, Welsby handed the ball on for Ben Davies, who goes over for his first Saints try on the 25th minute. The ball then is shipped to the right and Davis is caught in the tackle, and Lussick starts scheming, and he kicks forward for Jack Welsby, and his lucky bounce finds Welsby's hand for the second try of the game. Saints go in at half time 10 points to 6 up, but Salford come back after Matt Costello scores in the 69th minute. Saints are down to 12 men again after Mark Percival is sim-binned for a high shot. After consulting with his linesman, Chris Kendall had no choice but to send Percival to the bin. There was also another sim-binning for Salford, as both teams went down to 12 men. Makinson added a 68th minute penalty to extend the Saints' lead a bit further, and then close out the scoring with another simple conversion from near the 40. But Salford had the chance to go in once again, and after Chris Atkin thought that he got there, but a great challenge from Morgan Knowles sees him give away a penalty, but save a certain try at full time. Jack Welsby finds himself in the bin. It meant that Salford had the options but couldn't do anything more, and Saints won and stumbled to the win, 14 points to 10. We now turn our attention to our final game of Friday night, as we see two rival teams in the eyes of the fans in what has been a grudge match due to the crossover of players going back and forth between the two clubs, as Wigan travel to Warrington Wolves in this Friday night game. Wigan sits second in the table on the points differential, as Saints have got 100 points plus conceded and scoring on Wigan at this stage of the season, but Wigan's speedy attack is catching everyone's eye. All the while, Warrington are in 8th place due to winning 5 of their 10 games that they've played so far this season. They were victorious over Huddersfield Giants in round 10 and are looking to build after that result. Wigan last lost against St Helens on Good Friday and have been playing exciting attacking rugby. This is mainly due to the form of Jerry Field. Both teams have been shown to us, and we will go through Wigan first. Liam Byrne drops to the bench in place of Brad Singleton, while Oliver Partington and Joe Shorrocks drop from the bench, and that leaves a place for Sam Halsall to come into the starting 17. For Warrington, they welcome back George Williams after being out for a period against his former club, and comes in for Connor Wrench. This then moves Peter Matautia back to the centre position. Young Riley Dean continues at scrum half, and Billy Magoulis moves to the first team from the bench. Matt Davis drops out, which means a place on the bench for Jason Clark. Wigan are the first out the blocks after a good pass by Harry Smith sees Ian Thornley go in on the 3rd minute for a play on the right edge. It's a great ball from Harry Smith, who uses Jai Fields as a lead runner. Oh, it's Kate Cuss that made that pass, and it was a great effort. Warrington though come back very strongly, and on the 7th minute, Riley Dean skips through some weak Wigan central defence and scores left of the post to tie the scores up at 6-all. You can see it here. Brad O'Neill and Cade Ellis were both flat-footed, not expecting the young halfback to go through with that much speed. It was Dean that converted for Warrington. But then the same type of try happens again against Warrington, but this time the final pass came from Jai Fields, who finds Ian Thornley for his 2nd try of the game. A sweeping move, Jai Fields entering the try line and scoring. Different angle. It was fast hands. Harry Smith gets involved, but that double pump was enough to bamboozle the slipping Warrington defenders. Smith and Field combine to find Bevan French out on the right wing, who goes over for his 2nd try in these 5 games that he's been back in the team. Good power, good speed, but it was Bevan French with the effort. Warrington though kept Wigan on their toes, despite being 18 points to 6 down, and this time it was Ashton that went over on the 28th minute with a diving effort. Some good hands by Dean, Foulis and King, put Ashton in the clear for that diving effort. Wigan though, just before half time, come back, and this great pass by Patrick Mago finds Liam Farrell on the angle, who dives and dribbles his way into the line, beating 3 Warrington men after that fantastic offload by Mago. It was just a setup play, they were saying in the build-up, but Liam Farrell made it something better, something a little bit off the cuff. Here we go once more. Mago, so strong and so big, sees the run, gets the shout, bang. And then Farrell uses his nous and his agility to get over. In the 2nd half, it's Wigan again, as a kick from Bevan French is fumbled by Josh Foulis, and Liam Marshall is there to gobble up the mistake for his 1st try of the game. Unfortunate, but it's a rugby ball, it bounces. And then a great actual bullet torpedo of a pass to Liam Marshall gives him his 2nd try of the game. Missing out 2. Bibby and his inside scrum 2nd row, Liam Marshall. A slight hint of a forward pass there, but bravery from Marshall and got over. Wigan go over again. A short ball sees Ethan Havard go over, and the young forward has been getting through some excellent work and scoring important tries. Lead runner after Harry Smith sets up the play. Marshall on the inside, Havard on the outside. That was 40 up for Wigan as Harry Smith adds the extras. Warrington though started to show some life after Walker goes over for a try. He goes from dummy half dummies and gets over under the sticks, which Matautia adds the extras to. And the finals say went to Peter Metaltia. A kick across the field from George Williams, was batted back by Charlie, by Magoulis, and Metaltia finds a gap and bundles his way over, which Josh Fewlis adds the extras to make it 22 points to Warrington on the night. Little bit too late, I'm afraid, but it's 22 points to 40 to Wigan Warriors. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that nice little notification bell for any updates or new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts on the 4 games that have gone on to this Friday evening, as the highlights are all there for your perusal. Some great games, some good results, some clunky performances as well. Unfortunately, there were also some injuries, but that's rugby league. This close to semi-finals though, I bet so many teams are disappointed that they're going to be losing out. But then you've got teams like Warrington who'll be happy of the time off. No game this week means time to recover and recuperate. But anyway, comment in the box below to tell me how you think these games went. There was one bit of action that from tonight's Friday night's games that I thought was fantastic, and that was Bevan French getting the ball in the in-goal area, just dodging out of the way of Josh Charlie and setting up the attack for, I think it was Ethan Havard's try. He got over into the 60-metre mark after being boxed in basically, and he got out with bodies all over the place basically. Fast team. Wigan did take Jai Fields off halfway through the game. That's why Sam Halsall was on the bench, and they planned on doing that earlier on as he's been unwell. But anyway, tell me in the comments what your thoughts of this episode was. Remember to share it worldwide and get the word out for rugby league. But in the meantime, please stay safe. I'll wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.